Day and how much rain we could possibly see.
Plus the details behind a tropical storm-like system that left Florida and South Florida with almost 1 foot of rain.
Plus, it's still Winter Weather Awareness Week. We're on your side with tips on how to prepare your home.
WBRC Fox 6 News. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Welcome into Weather Extra. Wes here, joined by meteorologist JP Dice. Great to see you, JP.
Good to see you, Wes. You got Winter Weather Awareness Week. We had heavy rain in Florida, big mess down there, and then we have the potential even next week for some active weather here and a preview of the Thanksgiving forecast. So we got a lot going on coming up this half hour.
We certainly do. I know you've been talking a lot about the El Nino and how that could impact the season. We knew it was a matter of time before the weather patterns started to become a bit more active. Let's take you to the next big thing and what is on the way here. First off, tonight we've got the mild conditions, and we're looking live from Jasper at Young Jewelers, and right now 68 degrees. What a warm up out there today. I mean, we had areas where we had temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Of course, no rain on the radar at the moment. We got the updated Drought Monitor, not looking good. Of course, parts of the area, or most of the area now, in extreme drought conditions with all the rain. Even though we have seen rain, it's been rather light across the area. We could see a couple of showers tomorrow. It just seems like so far, even though we've seen a lot of wet weather on the maps, it's just been light amounts of precipitation. The weekend stays dry, but we've got a system that's coming in here early next week, and want to make sure we give you that first alert for the possibility of rain and maybe even some stronger thunderstorms. And as JP noted, we're going to take a closer look at what we're tracking there for early next week, and it is a big story here because it's the first threat of storms that we've seen in quite some time. So just double check over the next couple days. Make sure you have fresh batteries in your weather radio. Always a good time right now, better time than any as we get closer to that more active time of the year. As we get into Monday, really focused in, you can see there over the western part of Alabama. That looks to be where some of those ingredients may come into play. But also out in the tropics, we have some developments. We now have a new what's being labeled post-tropical cyclone over the Caribbean. This may become tropical storm Vince over the next 48 hours as it moves north over Jamaica, Cuba. It's going to cross around the Turks and Caicos and move out over the Atlantic, but notice it stays south of Florida. It stays south of Gulf Shores places there, so we're not expecting that system to make a turn to the north, but you can follow along the latest tropical tracks. Make sure you have our First Alert weather app. And speaking of the next big thing, it's almost time for the Magic of Lights at Alabama Adventure. And our very own Steve Crocker joins us live now. And this is the time to be live at the Magic of Lights. Steve, how's it going out there?
It's going great out here. We've already got some folks coming in to get a sneak peek. But, Wes, I know you guys are going to be talking about the weather in Florida. Keith Kendall, the construction manager for Magic of Lights here, was telling me a few minutes ago that their company has a similar setup in Naples, Florida. And because there's been about a foot of rain in that area, the Barbie sign that you see here, which Barbie's name is about 8 feet high, that's all underwater in Naples, where they have that sign set up. But thankfully, we've got a dry situation, too dry actually, as you guys know, here at Alabama Splash Adventure. Magic of Lights begins tomorrow night, $20 per carload. We just got a chance to go through and see some of the exhibits, and we're going to show you that video now. Hopefully you guys have that. Really impressive stuff. You'll see some familiar scenes, nativity scenes. You'll see scenes that speak to different parts of our culture. Just some really impressive stuff. Prehistoric Christmas, for example. 2 million lights out here, and really some artistry at work out here at Alabama Splash Adventure. It took about 3 to 4 weeks to put this situation together, but it's really something to see. The length of the exhibit is about 2 miles, so you might want to budget anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes, depending on how many cars come through. And again, they're not even officially open yet. I've probably seen about 30 cars come through already. So come on out starting tomorrow night at 5:30 from tomorrow until the end of the year to take in all the lights out here at World of Lights out here at Alabama Splash Adventure. In Bessemer, Steve Crocker, WBRC Fox 6 News on your side.
All right, thanks, Steve. Looks good out there. Across the country, we have new information out of the Sunshine State today after torrential rains fell across South Florida, mimicking tropical storm-like conditions. The rain is still far from over. Take a look at this video from Fort Lauderdale. Models show some areas of Florida could potentially receive more than 1 foot of rain by tomorrow. Adding on to the already record-breaking rainfall that's happened in the state this year, wind gusts were as high as 50 miles per hour on Wednesday evening. Flash flooding and thousands of power outages were reported from South Florida. We do not expect any development with this system, but we will continue to monitor the tropics as we near the end of the Atlantic hurricane season. The season ends on November 30th. While Florida is dealing with heavy rain, Chicago has a different problem on their hands. It's cold weather, possibly discouraging migrants from coming to the Windy City, and those who are already there are looking for somewhere else to go. Sarah Schultz has that story.
A bus of brand new arrivals pulls up at the 12th District Police Station today. While migrants continue to arrive daily in Chicago, the amount is not nearly as many as it was over the summer when daily bus arrivals were in the double digits. Today, the city is expecting only 2 buses. Volunteer Luciana Diaz says the Halloween day snow was a reality check for many living at the police stations.
The snow day, it was freezing for everybody, and I told them that's nothing. This is nothing, guys. You should start looking for shelter or go to other state, other city.
With the realization of a cold winter ahead, combined with the lack of shelter and jobs, many migrants we spoke with at the 1st and 12th District Police stations say if given the opportunity, they would leave Chicago for another city. Diaz says some migrants even want to go back to their home country.
They have an American dream, for in my opinion, it's a fake American dream. So they asking me a lot for if I know somebody who can buy a ticket flight for them to come back to Venezuela.
6th Ward Alderman Will Hall, who traveled to the border a few weeks ago, says word is spreading on social media among migrants that Chicago may not be the best place to come. And border nonprofits say not as many people are asking to come to Chicago.
Well, people are beginning to get informed that it's cold, the opportunities are scarce, and that unless you want to sleep on a concrete mattress, don't come. And that's what those who have come seeking asylum have said.
Jorge Barrera has been living at a police station for 6 months.
No tenemos el dinero.
With no opportunity to work here, the 39-year-old says he would leave, but he doesn't have the money or luxury to pack up and go to warmer places like California, Texas, or Miami. Despite a migrant slowdown, there are still not enough shelters to accommodate all the new arrivals living at police stations, and the 2 proposed base camps are still weeks away from being ready and able to accommodate people.
In 30 seconds, we'll tell you how to winterize your home for the cold months ahead.
Mic check. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. Weather, 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 weather. Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Tania Michelle, and we've been talking about winter weather awareness this week. And today, meteorologist Lauren Linehan spoke with an expert about how you can keep your home safe in cold temperatures.
As Winter Weather Awareness Week comes to a close tomorrow, we here on the First Alert Weather Team wanted to bring some tips on how you can prepare your home for those cold temperatures. And here to join us to speak about that and the importance of winter weather awareness is lead research meteorologist at the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety, Dr. Ian Giamenko. Ian, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Yeah, hi Lauren, happy to be here.
Now, Ian, where are you based at?
Yeah, our research center is actually about 40 minutes south of Charlotte. We're out in the middle of nowhere in rural South Carolina in Chester County, so we can make as much noise as we need to at our test facility, basically putting building materials through their weather tests.
So, you're up in the Carolinas. We're here in Alabama. Here in Birmingham, we're not guaranteed to get snow every year, but I'm sure winter weather is more than just snow. Why is it important for people here in Alabama to have a winter weather awareness week?
Yeah, just like us here in the Carolinas, Alabama's no different. We deal with at times some winter weather. Mostly it's Arctic air outbreaks and the occasional ice storm or snowstorm. But the thing with winter weather is a lot of small things can compound into really big problems for you if you think about burst pipes and those kinds of things that can come with freezing weather.
Yeah, I was just thinking about actually last winter here in Alabama, right around Christmas. Really, it was for a lot of folks in the deep south, that Arctic blast we got that did cause a lot of problems right around Christmas with burst pipes.
Yeah, that's probably the thing we deal with the most. So it's really important, especially homes if you're on crawl spaces, to make sure your pipes are insulated. Those outdoor hose spigots, make sure to disconnect your hoses and cover those up. And those can get damaged and you might not even see it. So it's important after a freezing weather event, if you think you've winterized, just make a pass around your house and look for maybe a dripping outdoor hose spigot. Those gaskets inside can actually come apart in freezing weather and get very brittle. I actually had that happen to me. So it's very important to take a look around your house looking for those problems. But again, burst pipes is the thing we deal with the most. So one, insulate those exposed pipes, especially if you live on a crawl space or anything that's outside those hose spigots, as well as know how to shut your water off. Know where that valve is, the main to your house. In case you do have a burst pipe, you can quickly shut that water off and avoid really very costly damage inside your home.
Really great advice there, but still ahead on First Alert Weather Extra, we're enjoying the beautiful weather, not just today, for the weekend too, but we could potentially see severe weather at the start of next week. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt has more on that when we return.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. As the drought continues to worsen throughout the state, meteorologist Matt Daniel and Mickey Ferguson join us now to talk about the updated drought monitor.
So Mickey, today is Thursday, so it is time to give you an update on
the Drought Monitor. Let's
get rid of that. Let's show you the latest drought monitor, and we are looking at that drought continuing to expand.
Yeah, and it's starting to get serious here, Matt, because we have extreme drought that encompasses some of our major thoroughfares here. Also, we're talking Jefferson, Shelby County, Tuscaloosa County, places like that, up 59. Extreme drought, exceptional drought in the parts of North Alabama.
Yeah, we're starting to see exceptional drought, which is the worst of the categories, and now in parts of northwestern Marion County, including northeast Alabama as well. So let's show you that comparison from last week to this week, and you're noticing that exceptional drought starting to show up more in the northern portions of the state, and that severe in red slowly making its way south of 2059. But
we need some rainfall, Matt.
I think it's short-lived, Mickey, because as we usually go into late November into December, that's when our rain chances normally ramp up. So November will average about 4 to 4.5 inches of rainfall.
Well, the problem is we're halfway through November, and typically we're going to have a couple of inches of rain, but we've only had a little over 1/4 of an inch of rain into Birmingham so far, 3/4 into Tuscaloosa, 1/2 inch in Anniston, so we got a long way to go.
But I think there's some good news.
All righty then.
So as you can see with the monthly average rainfall, normally we'll see more rain as we go into December and into the winter months. But the good news is, and I'm sure you've heard us talk about it today, is that early next week there's a pretty significant system that's going to move through with a lot of moisture, which will hopefully help us out.
These are some of the estimates, anywhere from 1 inch to 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 inches. Some forecast models even have us a little bit higher than that in some locations. So it won't quite get us out of the drought, but maybe as far as the extreme drought is concerned, it'll help things out.
Yeah, so we're crossing our fingers. It's looking pretty promising at this point. And of course, we'll keep you updated as we go into the weekend on Monday and Tuesday's weather setup.
Sounds good. So let's hopefully get that much needed rainfall out there. I know we could need it. I wasn't talking about right now, Matt.
Oh.
Did you bring an umbrella?
Did not bring an umbrella.
Yeah, it's going to mess up my hair.
Yeah, let's leave.
Okay, it's really, I went the wrong way. Okay, I'll take care.
All right, 7-day forecast as we look ahead to tomorrow. We got a 20% chance for showers because of a front that's moving in. Not a lot of rain. I just want to show you what the latest forecast data is telling us. And we'll start it out this evening, mostly cloudy. You can see by 9 o'clock, 64 there, Tuscaloosa. We get out the door tomorrow morning. Looks like a dry start to our Friday with a mostly cloudy sky, but you see a little bit of green back to the west. And that's that next system as it moves in. It may squeeze out a few showers. We have some data that's a bit more favorable on the chance of showers tomorrow, but just plan for that. Throw the umbrella in the back seat. You might need it for a short period tomorrow. You see that? That's showing 9 o'clock tomorrow night, so maybe out at some of those high school games, maybe a brief shower passing by. And then we get into Saturday morning. It looks like a dry start, and we'll see that sky clear out. You see that? Just in time for the kickoff of the big games there on Saturday. Looks like some nice weather for this weekend, but a little bit cooler. Plan for that. We'll see those overnight lows back down to near 40 degrees. And again, as Matt and Mickey were talking about, you see right there we have that big first alert, the next system, which actually has a potential to bring some much needed rainfall. Past few systems, we've seen some rain. It's mostly been very light activity, but also we got to watch out there for that risk of storms. But you can see the data still highlighting. Actually, one thing we were noticing is that this is moving more into Monday night and into the day on Tuesday. See that 5:30 Tuesday morning? So this may, it's kind of been back and forth there, seeing a start time as early as Monday, as late as exiting as late as Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. So that's a period we're going to be watching. And again, we mentioned that there could be some strong thunderstorms. This is that first system that really shows indications that we could have some stronger thunderstorms in the mix. And that's where we go to meteorologist J.P. Dice right now as we dig in a little bit deeper. And JP, you and I were talking about this system is a bit more dynamic compared to the ones we've seen recently.
Yeah, I think what we're looking at with this particular setup is what we call a high shear and low instability type event. typical for this time of the year. Let me show you the big picture and what we're looking far to the west. You see this little spin in the atmosphere? This is an area of low pressure just off the coast of California. That low is going to continue to track across the country. We have an El Nino year, so we're looking at more of a zonal type flow. That means west to east. So some of these systems that develop back out to the west will move across the southern tier of the U.S. So we're going to be looking at that system approaching us as we get into Monday. In particular, what the models are indicating, that system rolling in later in the day on Monday into Tuesday morning. What we do have highlighted right now is the favored area for a severe weather threat coming up on Monday. At this point in time, doesn't look like a severe weather outbreak. This is going to be a lower end type severe weather event. Could be some gusty winds, even isolated tornadoes. Geographically, I think that's going to be south of Interstate 2059 and west of Interstate 65. This is where you have that little surge of instability move in. You combine that with the wind shear, those winds increasing through the day as we get into the late afternoon and evening hours, and that will increase that severe weather threat. So as we watch this system, the American model showing the rain starting to come in, maybe a little bit of it early in the day on Monday, but I think the core of this is going to start moving in during the afternoon. You can see really what's showing up as a squall line as we get into the afternoon and evening hours, and then moving out by Tuesday morning. So a first alert for that. I think we do have the dynamics in place to at least give us a lower end severe weather threat. This is something we, of course, will monitor. Plenty of updates right here and also on our WBRC First Alert weather app. Wes?
Yeah, JP, and we're seeing that system. And then as we go beyond the 7-day forecast, it looks like we're going to get the rain, the storms out of here by the time we get to the big Thanksgiving holiday. So Wednesday of next week, we start to clear out. It is going to turn off a bit cooler. Looks like high temperatures right around 60. We'll see those overnight low temperatures back down into the low 40s. The big shopping day on Friday looks dry. Iron Bowl Saturday, it's looking dry now, but there was still a system out here that we were watching. I want to highlight these days. You can see Monday and into Tuesday, there was a system that actually it was looking like it would be impacting us around the 25th and 26th, but now it's looking more like the 27th and towards the 28th. So there's another system out there that's going to bring some wet weather and then dry after that. So again, watching for a few showers tomorrow. That risk for storms, check in tonight. We'll have lots of updates and throughout the weekend, and then around the 27th and 28th, the possibility of some rain showers and perhaps some thunderstorms.
Great update there, Wes. We're all looking forward to the holidays next week, but yes, please be on alert with the chance for those severe storms in the forecast early next week. But let's talk about today. Today, our First Alert meteorologist, Shinty Rodriguez, and I and her child had the chance to visit the Birmingham Zoo as a part of their Glow Wild holiday light show. Check out the views. The zoo is completely different at this time of the year because they light up these animal lanterns and you can see them all across the zoo. It's just a beautiful sight. Not only do they have the lanterns, but different lights all across the area. And you get to ride the train. Look at Shinty there enjoying the wings. And I popped in to say hello. It was so much fun. And it really gives you that holiday spirit that you're probably needing at this time of the year. We got to ride the train through the zoo to see more of the lights in the trees. Even went through a little light cave. Look at that. So awesome. If you want to go out to the zoo, it's actually open to the public tomorrow. And I spoke to President and CEO Chris Pfefferkorn, who talks about this not being their first year having the Glow Wild, and every year is actually different.
The zoo is here for people to come out and enjoy, and events like this give them something to do. You don't need to have kids to come out. So if you have no kids, please come out. You can walk, you can enjoy the weather, enjoy the zoo, and see some beautiful lanterns.
And beautiful they are indeed. Again, the light show will run November 17th through January 15th at the Birmingham Zoo, and you can find all details on birminghamzoo.com. And we'll talk more. Okay.
All right, kind of cool seeing all the lights out there tonight. That looked like a fun display out at the zoo.
Yeah, please go take Landon.
Yeah, we'll do that. Hey, we'll see you back here tonight. Updates on higher rain chances.
Big time.
Yeah, see you later this evening.
See you.